Yo, what's going on guys? In today's video I'm going to be using the conca. If you already couldn't tell, the conk's my favourite dino to use. So to start off this video, it's me and my friend versus 3 patches. There was a 4th one, but you will see he switches to a Spino to try and help him out. I honestly enjoy fighting patches as a conk. I think it's a good matchup because patches are a little bit squishy and conk already does a good amount of damage. Recently I have been seeing a lot of patchy players. Honestly, I don't think patchy is a very good group dino unless you run it with like a Lambio, because then you can get like 25% more armor. But the reason I don't think it's a very good group dino is just because it doesn't get any buffs from like more patches. Like for example, the conk at least gets alpha 1, so the more conks you have, the more damage you do, like up to 40%. You can see my friend goes into the water and all you can see is a massive Spino sail come out. Because of this, the Spino is faster than the conk in water, so he is forced out of the water. So my main objective here is just to get as much focus off of him and onto me. So whether it's doing damage, putting pressure on, just anything. And then you can see this Patchy literally jumps into the water, hoping that his Spino friend's going to save him. Like, honestly, it's such a bad play. I don't know what this guy was thinking right here. And then the other one does the exact same thing. And he, not only does he not try to go on land, he goes even further out and then decides to turn back. And the most satisfying thing about this was these guys were literally in chat just spamming the whole time because I was sitting in the water. So at this point we went to LBM and we found a Styrak and a duck. So me and my friend decided to focus the Styrak first as it's the fastest thing. And you see he just charges me, I do want a 180, get out of the way. He just wastes a bunch of stamina. You can clearly tell this guy never watched my Styrak guide. As you can see, he's overcommitting and getting punished for it very badly. And as everyone knows, Styrak is literally the best 2-slot in the game. The whole time I'm just tail riding this guy and he's, yeah, once again overcommitting. Like, he should be playing a lot more defensively with his duck, but yeah, he's just panicking the whole time. And then he makes it even worse by taking the fight away from the duck and using the remaining stamina he has left to charge to try and get to a home cave. So we went to go fight the duck. And at this point, me and my friend, our main goal was to fight him near the home cave, so he gets home cave debuff. And what we did was we kept on switching out on who was fighting him near the home cave. That way, he got home cave debuff and both of us were perfectly fine. And you just can't fight anything on home cave debuff no matter what you are. So my friend was on a Nalo and he was fighting 2 megs, and you can literally see he has got a slither of HP left. But he already did a decent amount of damage to these megs, so I came looking for them. The conk main I really do enjoy fighting megs, is they're a little bit weaker, a little bit slower, and every way you're just a little bit better. The best place to even fight a conk as a meg is just the water, because the stamina drain on conk in the water is actually really bad. So yeah. So your best chance against a conk is the water as a meg. Obviously you also just have better trot speed, stuff like that. If you are playing a meg, you do want to bait your heavy bites, as that's your main form of damage. The other one just does poison, not really a lot of damage. So you can see that my stamina's getting low and my health is getting a bit low as well. So once I kill this meg, I decide to take it back on land because it's the better fight for the conk against the meg. and this guy just tries to face tank me. So yeah. So I seen a Meg and a conch running around, and I saw that the Meg was resting in a bush to get the drop on this guy, because when another conch is around, it gets a little bit harder because it's a lot more even, and I can't outrun another conch. We've got the same stats. I did see that the conch did have a different subspecies from me. I did see the +10 stam. So when I do end up fighting that conch, I do bring him to water. This Meg did do the right thing and get to the water. I would say if you are going to use a Meg, I would use the full water Meg. This is a perfect example of what you shouldn't do when you're fighting another conch. So you can see this conch keeps on like doing these small turns that just ends up giving me a free bite every single time on his side. No, I wasn't planning on killing this baby Sako. He could have took the trophy off the Meg or the conch and left. So I went to the Waystone to waste on my friend, and the Dinu from earlier wasted on the Sako, I'm guessing to try and get me killed, and yeah, he actually gets a clamp here, and I instantly knew that he was going to try and throw me off of this cliff, and it actually ends up not working out for him. I do fall off the cliff, but when the Sako charges up that charge bite, you do want to get out of the way because it could literally one tap you. And when you're fighting a Sako and he has that charge bite, just bait out that charge bite, because he cannot hit you for like 5 seconds, so it's just a bunch of free bites, free damage. And there you see me and my friend are fighting a eel, and this Picno joined our team, and he literally just wasn't helping the whole time. He was trying to be friendly with this eel, which like I don't really like, because when do you see herbivores and carnivores teaming up together? It doesn't make any sense. You don't get any buffs from it, and yeah. And I really don't like that, so I was honestly thinking about just kicking this guy out and killing him, because there's no need for you to be in my team if you're not going to help us out and kill the seal. Not only that, at any point that we get low, this guy might just come over and try to finish us off. So yeah, I just didn't want to risk it, kick this guy out, and as you can see, even like as I kick him, he literally uses his head slam, and the eel comes down off the rock to come help this guy. Now, a really cool thing I want to talk about while this clip goes on is I never knew that you could adopt other species of dinos if you have a nest, which it's good to know, because if you adopt someone, you literally get a 25% increase in damage if you are near that baby. You can see we're just punishing this guy for it, and also he just misses a head slam and gets stunned. So yeah, you have to be very careful with that head slam if you're a Picno player. And you can see the baby is near me now, so I get that 25% damage increase. And I was trying to give this baby a trophy to take to home cave. He was a new player, so yeah. And also this Dino just would not leave him alone, and I just told him to run to the water just for a little bit. Maybe the Dino leaves us alone, and I actually end up killing it. Now some people might not like this part right here. You can see the Sakillos being friendly, but it's like when you are in a hotspot like Spine Lizard Lagoon, you cannot just let random people walk around, especially if you want to fight things often, because you don't know at any time maybe that's their friend, or maybe they just decide that they want to join the other team, help the other people out. Unless I'm grouped up with them, then I usually just kill them. And I can see a conca in the distance, and he thought he was smart by going into this bush. I already knew where he was. I was trying to move my camera a little bit just to make him think that I didn't know. Now, I don't really trust other conca players. Usually they're part of a bigger group, or they just rat you out. It's happened to me many times. So anytime I see a conca player, I always try and take him out as fast as possible, because the biggest threat to a conch is just another conch. I can see people are fighting, not sure who's who. I see the Meg. I want to take the Meg out first, as that's probably the biggest threat, because he is pretty fast. And this guy tries to face tank me, which you can't face tank conch as a Meg. Health back, and I found the Suko from earlier, and I was trying to maybe see if he could rest. He never ended up resting, and this part right here, he actually was in a really good position, because it was like it kept switching me from land to water, which was very difficult. So I ended up trying to take this guy out to just full water, and he ends up falling for it, which honestly had a really good position. He should have just stayed there. And my main objective right here is just to tail ride him, get his sides, just don't take any damage. I personally think that the Suko has no room in the water unless you use it as an escape. Since it's TLC, it's just not very fast. And every time I fight a Suko, they're never using the dodge. They always use tail attack. I've never seen anyone use the dodge, which is surprising. If you're going to run a water build, you have to run it all. If you're going to run a land build, you have to do the exact same thing. You can't do this in between, or I'll be some land, some water, because then you're just not good at anything. I think this really goes for solo players, because you really want to have that one good thing where you can take people to and really beat them in that specific area. I do think the conch is a little bit different because it's very diverse. Only a few things can catch you on land. For example, the alio, you know, it's like the only thing that can catch you that's actually strong enough that could be a threat. Even then, my main build is literally full on water, so my main escape is the water from most things. In this clip I was fighting a bunch of things, and you will see I end up finding the Meg from earlier. I just barely seen his tail out of that bush. And you can see here I end up finding the same Picno from before that was friends with the eel. And he tries to be friendly, but it's like, you already tried to rat us out before. It makes no difference. Like, if I see you again, I'm just gonna kill you. Now, because my main escape is the water, when I see Megs, other conchs, or maybe even Sukos, or example Sarkos on land, I try and take them out, because they're the biggest threat to me of my survival. And in this clip we get the jump on some patches. We actually sat at that waystone waiting for someone to be waystone for like 2 minutes. And right after the Patchy fight, we wanted to head to SOL. I should have got my health back, honestly. And we ran into another Patchy and Meg, and we just tried to put up the best fight we could. And you can see that Patchy literally launched me right into the air with that kick. Now I spawned in Amphitheater Lake, and I found this really cool cave, and I was just exploring it just to see like if there's anything cool in here. And I found just a water hole, and then I went into this cave and I found a nest. And I'm not sure if this was an actual real player or if that's an NPC maybe, but I hit this nest and randomly a circle just pops up. Maybe this guy got really unlucky and just logged in as I hit the nest.